Watch the ball the whole time. You're much safer if you watch the ball. It's amazing how quickly you can move if you really watch the ball. And almost everyone who gets hit takes his eye off the ball, probably at the last minute, but nevertheless. And that's the main thing, the most important thing of all.
The one tip I'd give to any youngster was that you must practice and practice all the skills of the game very, very hard, whether it's batting, bowling or fielding. If you practice all those three disciplines hard, when you get out in the middle, you shouldn't need any of this protection equipment because you should be that good watching the ball. You should be just whacking the ball and the ball should never hit any part of your body. I've been hit on the head though.
The second tip is, I think for a batsman, a young batsman, to stand a little bit on the balls of his feet, like a tennis player waiting for service or like a boxer. And that, you know, obviously they're in the best position to move one way or another, whether it's up to play or to hook, to get into position to cut, or just to get out of the way of the ball. So I think standing slightly on the balls of your feet with a little bit of bounce in your feet, I think that helps too.
Yeah, just a couple of tips from me. One is to always work on your fitness hard, make sure your body's in good condition for every time you go out to play, and when you're in the middle, out on the game, just keep your eye on the ball at all times.
Thirdly, the bowling always seems faster if it flashes by to the side of you. So basically you're much safer if you're in line with the ball. It seems paradoxical, you think you're safer if you're not, but you're safer if you're in line with the ball. You see the ball better, you get a better take on the ball, and you'll find that you react better to the bowling, even if it's only just to stop the ball or bring your hands up in front of your face, but you will protect yourself. And fourthly, I think it's very important to practice playing the short ball, so that as a young cricketer gets to the age of 14 or 15, when occasionally he'll get bounces bowled at him, or if he's playing against men, as a lot of good cricketers are at that age, by older bowlers. And what he wants to do is to get perhaps into a hard net, an artificial net wicket, and get someone with a few tennis balls first, and then with some hard rubber balls, to throw in some short pitch balls and just practice moving one side or another, getting under the ball, letting it go, perhaps practicing a hook shot, wearing the helmet. It gives you confidence to use the helmet so you get used to it, but you're not going to get hurt in any way badly if you make a mistake. So it's just a matter of getting used to how to play the short pitch ball. When you practice the cover drive or the forwards defensive, you should practice the short pitch ball as well, away from the danger of the cricket ball.
Hi, my name's Melanie Jones. I'm with the Surrey women's cricket team and also the Australian women's side. I think one of the biggest tips I can give to anyone starting off in cricket and who wants to go a long way with their sport is the aspect of fitness and keeping your body healthy. I've now played quite a number of years now, and I think the only way I've got to the point that I have is through making sure that I certainly warm up and cool down properly, but maintain a really good fitness program throughout the winter so that when the cricket season comes along, I'm ready to go and give it a all.
My next tip is, it's a paradoxical tip. Try not to worry too much about getting hurt, because if you start worrying about getting hurt, you're more likely to get hurt. And it's easier said than done, of course, because if you're worried, you're worried. But I think if you say to yourself, well, I've got a helmet on now, I've got gloves on, I've got maybe a chest protector, I don't need to worry that much. I've practiced, and then I think you'll be safe. I think it's dangerous to worry too much.
Andy Stovold, development coach at Gloucester Eng Cricket Club. One thing youngsters I think need to look at is preparation. Preparation isn't always physical preparation, it's mental preparation. So before you do anything, be it the nets or middle, sometimes even before you go to bed the night before a game, is to think the game through, think your game, your role, the individual's role and your team.
My sixth tip is, get used to wearing the protective gear. When you first put pads on or batting gloves, it feels incredibly awkward. Similarly with a helmet, when you first put it on, it feels heavy, it gets in the way, but if you practice with it, get used to wearing it, it'll soon become like as if you're not wearing anything. It'll be natural.
Welcome to Winchester House School. Enjoy your next session. If we're going to enjoy it, I think the most important thing is we don't have any unnecessary injuries. So we've got to think about how to keep safe. And I know you'll have covered this a bit before, but let's just go over just to make absolutely sure. Okay. Right, first of all, our batsman needs to be fully kitted out with the protective gear, yeah? Nice to see you wearing a helmet. If you're under 18, I expect a helmet. If you're under 18 and you don't want to wear them, you have to have signed consent from your parents or guardians. So good to see you've got a helmet on. And for the chaps, I want an abdominal protector, a box on, optional extra for the girls, and the rest of the kit that I'd expect. Okay, so it looks like you're kitted out and fully ready. Excellent.
Hi, my name's Kate Lowe. I play for Notts Ladies in England. Whenever you go into a net situation, always check that your equipment's in good condition.
Right guys, let's have a think about the safety from the bowling aspect now. It's not always obvious to everybody, there's some safety issues here, but you could get hit by the batsman, say after you bowl the ball, and you're walking back. So what I want you to do is have an order to bowl in, we'll sort that out, and then when you bowl the ball, collect the ball from the batsman or yourself, and as you walk back, get to about the stumps and turn around so you're facing the batsman, so that when your colleague bowls the next ball, if the batsman does hit you back, you'll be able to get out of the way or stop it. Okay? Quite straightforward? Okay, let's start the net then.
Second tip would be never turn your back on the ball.
Further safety issue I want to mention, particularly relevant to Mike at the moment, is safety from the other net. Coming from this side, you've got the chance that the batsman in the other net might play a good drive, and if you're not aware of that, you could be hit. So keep aware of what's happening in both nets, and if possible, stay to this side, the netting, to keep yourself safe. Okay? Okay. Good.
Final tip would be always listen to the person who's in charge of the net.
My last tip is don't play against the West Indies in the 1970s or 80s.